What is happening, people? United Centrally back with another video. I'm with my two guys, Nuruddin and Aaron is in the building. It's Straightjacket Podcast 69. But before we start, guys, Eid Mubarak to every single person who's celebrating in the world. Obviously, me and Nuruddin are celebrating. So from me and Nuruddin and from Aaron, he's just said it before. Eid Mubarak to everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. Hope you're all getting fed. You're getting all the money. You're getting all the glory. Money, 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 as Nuruddin said. You know what I mean? Jesse J, you know what I mean? There's no one's broke now. You know what I'm saying? But big up the two guys again. Straightjacket Podcast. I'm going to start with Aaron. How are you today, bro?
I'm good, man. Eid Mubarak to you and Nuruddin. You know what I'm saying? To all the Muslim brothers and sisters around the world. Hope you celebrate it. Enjoy the time with your family. I know this is probably a hard time to have Eid because obviously you can't go visit family and whatnot. But I really hope that you enjoy it. Obviously, yeah, stay safe, stay protected and healthy. But yeah, all the Muslims around the world, enjoy it to the fullest. In terms of myself, I'm doing good, man. Doing good, enjoying my Sunday. I was just watching Money Heist. I'm trying to finish that.
Cold.
Very good series on Netflix. And yeah, you said podcast 69. Listen, let's just hope no one at United is moving like 6ix9ine. You get me? So,
no snitching.
no snitching.
I like that one.
No leaking information like at Arsenal. You get me? You know, someone is snitching on Lacazette.
No gas canister.
Someone snitching on Lacazette, but I just hope there's no snitch at United. You get me? So.
Tell you, man. You know what I mean? What would have thought that Alex Ferguson? What would he have done if someone got caught with a gas canister?
Oh.
I don't know.
But Nuruddin, happy Eid to you. You know what I mean? I'm coming around your house now. What's on the menu down there?
Yo, I made a bit of food yesterday, but that's all about it, lad. Man been feasting, mate. Man been feasting.
Yo, it's literally like, you know, if you obviously people that celebrate Christmas and obviously Aaron and whatnot, but the traditions of Eid is, you know what I mean, to give what you can. You know what I mean? The little ones that are running around you saying, where's my £5? Where's my £10? I mean, I want to be rich again, you know what I mean? But it's a good time, you know what I mean? It's kind of for me, it's obviously, like I said, lockdown has absolutely gone crazy, man. Like, I just went outside my house and it's like, normally the streets will be buzzing, you know what I mean? Little kids will be running around in their fresh clothes, you know what I mean? Fresh camise, if you call it, you know what I mean? And it's, loading, man, this is the times right now, man. But we got to stay in there, we've got to dig in there, haven't we?
Trust me, we got to...
Unless you're Cummins, by the way,
I told you, Boris's boy, innit? One rule for Boris's boy, one rule for everybody else, man. That's how it rolls. But yeah. So I like to say Eid Mubarak to everybody, and you know, like not just all the Muslims, but people who are culturally like they don't even, you know, they're not that heavily too religious, but culturally they're around people who celebrate Eid. You're celebrating too. You know what I mean? So. That's an important thing, I think, to mark, because as Christmas, we all celebrate the idea of, you know, Christmas because, you know, family and friends, and, you know, we live in a global village now. The world is more closer together. Social distancing, I hope.
Yeah.
More of a global village. So, yeah, I like to wish well everybody. Obviously, the safety of everyone's paramount. But, yeah, happy Eid to all those worldwide. That's why I always say happy Christmas to everybody worldwide. Happy Christmas, you know, happy Eid to everybody worldwide. You know, happy Hanukkah to our Jewish brothers and sisters when they're celebrating there. So this is what it is. And that's the human family, innit, culture. And on those, yeah, even people who are not even into religion either, you know what I mean? Who are practicing sorts of different kind of spirituality. But the best thing about all of these things and what these things have in common is about bringing about friends, family, having joyous food, conversations. It's relaxed time. Do you know what I mean? It's relaxed time. And unfortunately, this can't happen. I see bare people driving to people's house just to wave at them out of the window, man. It's just madness.
You know what I mean? Wave the food. I want the food.
Yeah, they're like handing over food, but they can't come in. Like, it's weird. And then people are like wiping down the food. You know what I mean? Wiping down whatever they got. That's how it is, seriously, man. Yo, that's how it is, seriously. That's how it is. So, yeah, it is strange times. It is very strange times. And a lot of people who might be from, who are Muslim or, you know, culturally Muslim, who never spent a time in a Muslim country when it's Eid, is totally madness.
I can only imagine, like, in all the Muslim countries around the world, it must be one big feast. Yeah. Obviously, you probably can't go out in the streets and whatnot, but it must be one big party, man. Every family enjoying themselves in their house.
Yeah, this is it. Exactly. And this is what it is. And it's mainly about close friends, innit?
Yeah.
Close friends and family and everybody coming round. Like Saeed said, kids running around and doing what they're doing, the madness. Everybody looking their, so in this culture we say, for the culture we say, everybody looking their Sunday best. But
exactly.
Like, you waited a whole month to look your best, mate. You know what I mean? And it's funny that works. Like, but yeah, everybody buys new clothes. All the kids have new clothes. It's all about present. The present is the new clothes, mate. And each day, when you get into that clothes, you
feel like a diamond.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're flexing.
Well, Aaron, obviously the Bundesliga, you know what I mean? Just a little update, you know what I mean? Malai Havertz is doming it up. Lewandowski's still scoring goals. Muller, let's talk about Muller. Muller, I still got it. I know he's not been tweeting anything. Muller, we talked about Muller.
We've got to talk about this, man. This man, bro.
You didn't want him at United, did you?
In terms of goals, he's not up there. Let's just be straight up and say it. He's not up there in terms of goals. But mate, I've seen the last 2 games I've seen, because I haven't watched a lot of Bundesliga this season, I have to be honest, because I was so focused on, the Premier League and United. So, me watching the Bundesliga has, dimmed down a little bit. But mate, the game against Union Berlin, the game yesterday against Frankfurt, I've tweeted it out and I said, Thomas Müller is the strangest, most intelligent player I've ever seen in my life.
You played against him, so you could say
exactly. I played against him, so he is like the way, like I said, strange but intelligent. The movement, like where he has to be, but his control will be completely off. But he's at the right
quick,
place.
But it's not quick, but it's quick.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like he is so intelligent, and what he does on that pitch, a lot of what he does goes unnoticed. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, oh my God. What more can I say? Do you know what I mean? What more can I say? He's so intelligent, uses his brain, his awareness, his surrounding. He's aware of what's surrounding him. That's what I like about him. He's aware of what's going on around him. And 17 assists. I think that speaks for itself. And I think there's another 2 added yesterday, if I'm not wrong, 1 or 2. So that's 19 assists, all competition in a Bundesliga alone or something. Like, it's crazy.
Listen, I have never doubted his talent. Like years ago, like 6 years ago, I was like, someone like Thomas Müller, like Schweinsteiger. Do you know what I mean? They were that kind of mode. But I'm not having a guy his injury record. Actually, this season has been fit, right? But the past couple of seasons, he struggled with injuries and form. And the idea that Saeed try to gaslight us all and go, yo, Müller, listen. Like I said, you know what I say? Class is permanent. You know what I mean? Like, form is temporary. So I might be guilty of looking at that through those lenses, that I'm thinking, when I've seen him and I've not seen him having an effect.
I bet you're waiting till he misses open net.
No, I don't, because I don't have that. I actually he's one of those footballers, actually, like, you like to have him in your team, but when he's in the other team, you love to hate because he's just a nuisance. Like, he's a constant nuisance of what kind of player he is. But I'm happy for him. Like, I'm glad that the team plays in a different way now, in a shape that suits him, and that he can play the way he plays. So, but I just don't think, as Man United, I would hate to think that I want us to get a player like in that kind of Bruno mode, like on the up. Do you know what I mean? Not on the way down.
Kai Havertz.
Oh my gosh, that
kid, man.
That kid. That's what I'm saying to you. So at the age where Muller was in his mid-20s, 100% Man United. We're talking about when David Moyes was here, we were linked to him. But now, like, I'm just sick of guys who had their heydays thinking that they're going to play exactly like that, the way they're playing for their Bayern Munich or for their team to come and play for Man United.
It's a different ball game.
Listen, we're a totally different. Someone like Havertz, because he's got his strength to go even on different levels, to go on next level. Man United are way below what Bayern Munich level are, because Bayern Munich have got structure and there's a whole thing around Bayern Munich getting the best out of you on a match day. You know what I mean? There's a whole United ethos to get the best out of you. And it's interesting that you were talking about Man United like snitching. Man United, I'm sorry to say, guys, Man United are original snitching FC.
Why?
We've always been. Everything is always getting leaked right, left, and centre, man. Come on,
true.
Guys.
That's true.
Come on, guys. We are the original. There are so many.
The Sanchez deal.
Oh
No,
my
yeah,
God.
actually, our club is about snitching because to get more hits on social media, our club snitch.
Speaking of the Sanchez deal, you know how I found out about Sanchez? I've got
Yeah.
one of my mates who worked at the mega store, and obviously he's not a football fan, but he just worked there, innit? And he was juggling with his uni and stuff. So one day he was, because he was in charge of doing the printing, the shirt printing.
Press, yeah, the press.
Yeah. So one day, obviously they're not allowed, but obviously make sure he doesn't get in trouble. So yeah, hold tight, all the United officials. Hope you don't see this. So I'm not gonna name. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
What
that's just about, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say.
That's to bring him down the house, yo.
I'm not gonna say his name either. Do you know what I mean? So my guy, he was doing the shirt printing, and one day he snaps me and he's like, "Shh, please don't tell anyone." And then he sends me, and I'm like, "Huh, why are you sending me this?" So he sends me another snap where he's printing the number 7 Alexis, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's happening!" Obviously, back then the hype was real, innit? We're getting Alexis, we're back on top. Do you know what I mean? So I found out through a guy that works at the mega store. So it just shows you like a lot of the information that goes around the club is leaked everywhere. So obviously they had to know because they had to print the shirt and whatnot. But yeah, man, United, maybe Noden's right. We are the original snitches. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it. But, exactly. And also, you know what I mean, the Premier League training is back at the minute, you know what I mean? Man United doing it in groups and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Pogba's back, Martial's back, you know what I mean? It looks like, you know what I mean, football in the Premier League could be back, you know what I mean? So how do you make it, Aaron, you know what I mean? Good to see everyone back, just to see everyone training, man. It's good to see United players training now.
Bro, it is so nice to see everyone back on the training pitch. Just to see them, just to see the pictures, man. It's a good feeling, honestly, man. Regardless of what we like about United, regardless of what we don't like, the place that we do like, the place that we don't like, it's so nice to see everyone back on the training pitch, bro. Like, honestly, I've been one of Rashford's biggest critics, but to see him back on the training pitch, bro, it just gave me such a nice feeling. And right now, because of the whole, coronavirus, pandemic and stuff, I'm just happy to see my players healthy and fit. You see what I'm saying? So I can't wait. As much as, there's debates around the Premier League coming back or not, I'm so happy that the Prem's going to be back and our team is just going to be 100% fit. Like, it was such a nice feeling. Do you know what I mean? So I was happy. I don't know about other people, but I was so happy to see the players back in training, honestly.
And it's also glad knowing that nobody's like complaining. You know what I mean, you got Troy Deeney, rightly so. He's he's not very happy. N'Golo Kante, he's worried because apparently his brother's had heart condition and whatnot.
So he's got heart conditions himself.
And he's got heart condition himself.
Yeah.
So Nuruddin, you know what I mean? You got to look at it in terms of United have just got stuck on with it. You know what I mean? So are you happy with that? Or are you just more concerned on the fact that, you know what I mean, it's still like feels like nobody's speaking up?
No, I'm concerned, to be fair. I'm concerned for the safety because I don't think this government knows what they're doing. I don't think we see what's going on with the government. Like, you know what I mean?
There you go. No much question with that.
So I don't know. I just hope that the thing about it is that Troy Deeney didn't just complain or he's not complaining or he's not training because he basically asked questions and they couldn't find the answers. So you're telling me of all the players that play for Man United and all in the coaching staff, that they don't have the same questions that are not being answered. At the moment, they try to be seen to be getting on because they don't want to go. But I'm hoping that there are a lot of discussions taking place with club doctors about who's got whose family is susceptible to. Because the original idea, what they thought this could come back, football could come back, was that the footballers were all in hotels, all under lockdown for whatever, to get through to the, you know what I mean? That's not happening. So if that's not happening and that individuals are left to report who they've been in touch with, who their partners have been in touch with during this supposed lockdown, it's going to be weird, mate. It's going to be super weird. And I put the tweet out and I said, like quite a while back, I genuinely hope that I have fears that this is not going to end well. But I'm so hopeful that my fears are wrong, that I'm going to be wrong on this. But because I genuinely think that not the Premier League don't know what they're doing. I don't think the medical advice that they're seeking is the right.
I don't think so.
And I think every footballer, if I was in Man United or any other club in the Premier League, I'd be super concerned, especially when my questions about safety, about this, are not answered. And it's the easiest one, what Troy Deeney said, was the one, how am I not allowed to go and see a barber, but then I'm allowed to bustle a man in the area and get off for headers? Do you know
He's
what
got
I mean?
a point when he says that, though.
So, and on all of this, so for me, I refuse to believe all of the people that are training now don't have family members or don't have any underlying health conditions. Like, they don't. You know what I mean? I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that, like, the percentages of footballers who've got some sort of mild asthma or respiratory kind of difficulties is out there, bro. But nobody wants to be seen to be the bad guy. No, because you know what Troy Deeney got. You know what I mean? You know what Troy Deeney got. You know what? So they're the what's his name? Who's a former Tottenham player out on loan?
Danny Rose.
Danny Rose got. You know what I mean? We see
all the main players. To a
certain extent, Aguero's getting as well. Like Aguero, people saying, "Oh, this and that." It's not. You know what? I will be with, because I think you're earning a lot of money. You've got the very privileged kind of jobs that you do. But it's about life, man. At the end of the day, it's human life. Putting their lives in danger or other people close to them in danger. So I'm just hoping that, and I don't want to go on too long, but I know that there was from all the club doctors, there was all these questions sent to the government and to the Premier League to say, answer all these questions. And it was all of the 20 Premier League clubs, all the club doctors wanted list of all these answers to all of these questions. And I don't know if all of them have been answered. So I'm hoping that there isn't anything that comes of this in terms of any bad news. But I don't trust the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting it out there to the universe. I just wish that nothing bad happens to any of the players.
Of course, 100%. I agree with that, and I think everyone agrees with that. This is the podcast 69, guys. Obviously, we always start with talking about a revamp of all the week, so bear with us, guys, on that one. But this is the Straightjacket podcast 69. Solskjaer faces big test. And before we start, this for me is another test on Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know what I mean, in terms of his transfer plans and whatnot. But Man United, Aaron, have announced the quarterly, you know what I mean, finance review. Financial loss of 7.3 million. The revenue went down by 19%. Debt soared up to 429 million, up by 42.2%. That's absolutely staggering to me. However, 15 million rebate from the Premier League. Obviously, the games that we've missed out and whatnot. You know, Man United going to come for that money. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
However, Mr. Woodward has said, and probably Neil Ashton has probably helped him in that one. He said that there's 90 million in cash in the bank. I don't know what that means, and also I don't know what this means as well. 150 million credit facility, and I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? It's not looking good, man, Aaron. And Man United are a whole side ice cream, man. And as well,
you know it's eating rich for a minute. You know it's eating rich for a minute.
Oh my God!
And also, Man United are suing Football Manager for infringement of the badge. So, no, Aaron, man, it's looking a bit madness at the minute at United, and that financial report, crazy. Our debts are soared to 429 million. But as if it's just like, you know what? Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it just seems like they're, sweeping it under the carpet. Yeah, we've got that much debt, but it's all good. It's all right. I don't know, man. Obviously, I'm not, too knowledgeable when it comes to the finances, but what I do know is, in terms of the transfer budget, obviously, it is going to be tight. Even though I think, realistically speaking, we should still be able to go and get our targets. But I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard to get a Jadon Sancho, this summer. I can see him come next summer for sure, but this summer, I know Ollie came out on Sky Sports and said that we're still looking at our targets and da-da-da-da. But I'm like, listen, unless because he said like 4 or 5 targets or something. Unless all of our targets, I said, and I was thinking, unless all of our targets cost 15 million, that's fine. But I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But, financially, it was always going to be, everyone was going to take a hit. You know what I mean? Everyone was going to take a hit, every club. And yeah, man, like you said, all of that TV money that we lost, Manchester United are definitely 1,000,000% looking to make that money back. And they'll think of any method to try and make that money.
Football managers to sue the football manager when, you know, in reality they would do that behind closed doors. But now they're suing. They're looking a bit peak, man.
Yeah, man, and you know they're gonna sue. They're not gonna sue them for hundreds of thousands. They're gonna sue them for millions. Do you know what I mean? So they're gonna try and make that money back, bro.
Yeah, Nuruddin, looking at the figures there, you know what I mean? Like we said there, debt gone up by 42%. Financial loss of 7.3. That's only a quarterly of the season, by the way. You know what I mean? You know what, man? Like, it's just getting crazy, and that's a big test for Oli, man, because he's got to weigh up all the options and think, you know what, man? Like, I need silence. You know what I mean? I'm not the most greatest manager of all time. You know what I mean? But I need players in certain positions. If I'm gonna do something, I need players in certain positions, and Sancho is one of them. But that 150 million credit facility, what is that all about? Like, seriously, Nuruddin. It's just like Neil Woodward just putting out money there, saying, you know what, be happy, guys. There's a bit of money there.
Aspects of it is, and I don't know if I've said it on this podcast, Straightjacket podcast, or I've said it on Aaron's channel, Mr. at Aaron United. Yep. I've said it on other podcasts. You know what? Give him a follow. He's on his way to 5,000. So then we can get to 10,000 soon. So, and also subscribe to the Straightjacket podcast. But I've said it and I've said it again and again, and I'll say it again till the cows come home, boys. I'll say it. If ever there was a time Manchester United CEO or owners ever needed an excuse not to spend money, it's this time. So
you said it before.
Like, you know what I mean? All of this don't matter. If you had a structure, the targets would already been out there. You would have already spotted them. You've already would have done the parts of the negotiations. You already would know, right? This is how much money that was in the account. This is how much money that we can use. You know what I mean? The debt. To me, the debt being 400. Well, how much is it now? 400?
429 million.
Well, it might as well be 600 to get Man United back to the top, because if you borrowed another 200 million and made the key signings in the club, then that would get you closer to making money, because you'll be successful and you will get more advertising revenue.
They've done that, Nuruddin. They've done that time and time again, and it's not worked.
No, they've tried that without any structure, my friend. How have they done that? They've done that. Your boy Woodward thinking he knows everything. He doesn't. We've talked about it. I have absolutely, what would I say? I have broken it down bit by bit on this channel, right, before, about how this myth is. Oh, Woodward might be good at getting money from banks. That's maybe the only thing he's good at. He's not good at anything else in terms of furthering Man United, because you would think you would have the best people available, the best sporting directors, the best coaches, go and get the best players in their positions to get your club in a structured way to stay at the top, not to be floundering. Yeah. And he's not done that. I'm sorry, the box stops with the top. I'm sorry. In any, that's where it stops. So this idea that, so if he's good at that, then more than ever before, we need Woodward to go and get to the banks and do whatever he tells them. You know what I mean? If that means he's got photos of CEOs with banks doing funny things, you know what I mean? Not social distancing, you know what I mean? During COVID, then so, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm with him on that one. But I can't see any evidence. And that's what it comes down to. For me, there is a fear Man United might have to sell their best players. Because the Glazers will go, we're not making our 20 million. Nobody's saying this, man. No, this is the elephant in the room. Glazeonomics. There's a whole, like, there's economics, then there's glazeonomics. Now, most of you don't understand it. Yo, Neil Ashton's about.
Yo, Neil Ashton's about, man. Yo. Bloody hell, man.
Neil Ashton,
bloody hell, man. Every time, man, Neil Ashton. I mean,
so,
man.
I'm saying, glazeonomics might have to say, well, we're making this loss. We're still trying to pay. Let's get the wages of this, the high earners of this, like get them off the thing. We might have to sell some of our best players to survive financially. That means they're making money, because it's not that they love Man United. People do not get it twisted. They don't have love for Man United like we do. They don't give a damn. It's about money. It's about how much money in their account, how much money is going up, mate. That's what they care about. They don't care about anything else. Because if they cared about it, they would have said, you know, we're going to go and get proper structure. We're going to get rid of this debt, and we're going to make the club sustainable. But they're not interested in that. So, for me, that is a question to be asked. Some of Man United, and now the Pogba things are starting again, and I'm like, well, they might have to sell Pogba on the cheap to make money. That might be it.
Wow, I couldn't ever think of selling Pogba. You know what I mean? Aaron, just to touch upon that, financial bit. Should Ollie be worried about that?
I think you should, because Woodward ain't gonna give him the money that he wants. So,
and he's a perfect manager to just say, you know what, have what you got. You know what I mean? It's not a big name, is it?
And Ollie will just be like, all right, cool, I'll just do with whatever I can. And it's going to be a tough one. And next season, it's not going to be as... we shouldn't be so hopeful in terms of like transfers, because I don't think we'll buy anyone this transfer window, to be honest. It's going to be tough, man. And if we do, it's probably going to be another youngster from the Championship. And like Daniel James, so, yeah, man. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Obviously, I've called the title the Solskjaer facing biggest test, and I'm going to go stick with you, Aaron.
Yes.
Before we had this virus, this deadly virus, we had about 11 wins in all competitions. You know what I mean? Things were looking up, you know what I mean? And I call it facing a big test because I feel like the pressure's on now, because when everything's come back to normal, Tottenham will have Harry Kane back, Son back. Arsenal will have a fit enough team. You know, we might have a few centre-backs there ready. You know, Chelsea will have a few players back from injury. You know what I mean? I call it the big test because I feel like this is a big test now for Ollie. How does Ollie get the morale back up to where it was? And I know he was doing well, but sometimes it's easy to forget in football. When you're winning, you know what I mean, it's good. But when it's backed against the wall, that's when people really remember, don't they?
Exactly. And Ollie's task right now, he's actually got a very easy task now, because now everyone's looking to see, especially the people who've been doubting him, they're looking to see, like, okay, you struggled with, people that have been doubting him, because other people have said, yeah, but
me.
He's got injuries and that's why, he's not doing well. And okay, so now people like you and me, Said, are going to be like, all right, cool. We gave him a free pass for that. Now we want to see.
We did know it, we gave him a free pass.
Now I want to see what you can do with a fully fit squad. No excuses. Pogba's back. Rashford's back. Martial is there. Bruno is there. Wan-Bissaka's there. Shaw is there. Everyone is fit. Show me what you got now. I want to see what you can do. Because if that first game when we come back against Spurs, if we get slapped 3-0, you know what time it is.
Nuruddin, that's a very good point. I was literally that was my next point. Nuruddin, Aaron is right there. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's he's got a fully fit squad now. There's no more excuses. Pereira. You're playing Pereira in the midfield. Jesse Lingard's playing. He has got a fully fit squad now, Nuruddin. It's the time for excuses to stop now. And I know you can talk about right-hand side with a new option there. But right now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no excuse. And you could call it, this is going to be a really, very tough end to the season. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't need the season. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needed the season to be voided. Is that true, Nuruddin?
Maybe, but then I think that I would like to think deep down inside he's a competitor, and he's in it sport because he wants to, test his team, test his ideas against other people. But I loved both of your revisionist history. We were like, let's see. You were like, get him out.
No, but what I was saying is, I said, let's see in terms of what can he do.
I have never known.
The season. I did say I'll give it to the end of the season. One of my fan cams, I'll flex on being the judge of that. I said I'll give it to the end of the season. I want him sacked, don't get me wrong, but I said it to myself.
You know that clip? That's like the lost tapes, that's lost somewhere in the void. That's like needle in the haystack, mate. Needle in the haystack, Listen, it's not happening. It's not. Listen, in terms of your views, like the Ollie, Saeed, you're known for the Ollie agenda out, mate. You are Mr.
No, but there's no
Ollie
agenda
out.
now in terms of what he does to the end of the season now.
Listen, well, obviously.
No agenda.
No, obviously, of course. And I understand that because deep down, you believe Ollie's not the guy to do the job. But then for me, I always say, no other manager is going to do what they're doing. But it's still really interesting because you think that now, Man United have got decent first 11 now. They can put out first 11. A good first 11 out on the pitch. But imagine we get injuries again, knowing our medical department, knowing our injury prevention department, knowing that footballers have had 2 months of break, 2.5 months of not playing football. So I am not getting carried away in that kind of sense. I'm not, because
Come on, Nuruddin. There's no excuses, though.
Injured. I'm not getting carried because any of them can get injured again, and we'll have the same,
What about no injuries, though? What about no injuries, then?
If no injuries, then 100%. Like, I agree, totally agree. So that's why I'm wishing, I'm praying that no injuries, please, to any of the major parts, especially in the midfield, especially in attack. We need that first 11 to get out there and play. We need that first 11 to get out and play. And then I'm hoping that in games where we're doing quite well, he then rests players so that to prevent injury, he can make the right substitutions and the substitution bench can be. Because I think there's about 5 players that are in the substitution bench that needs a more quality. We need more quality in terms of substitutions.
We can't be bringing on Lingard last 20 minutes to find a goal. No disrespect to Lingard.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying to you. So I'm hoping Ole can prove what I think he has. I think he's already changed aspects of it because we like some of the players now. We like, even though you do not like to admit it, we're not playing. I do like
the core group of the players.
Yeah. There are flashes of brilliant football at times. We're scoring brilliant goals at times. And not like Jose, you know what I mean? Jose killed us all. He's sent us all, he sent us all down
to the shops.
He's sent us, he's kept us there permanently, man. We're shopkeepers, man. Looking at the empty shelves like that. You know what I mean? We just started looking at the shelves, man.
Grabbing the tissues and whatnot.
We're zombies, mate. He turned us all into zombies. But so I'm believing that if the players are fit, if the cohesion and the way of working together was before this, then we can kick on. But it's going to be difficult. People are going to think that Premier League football is going to come back like it was, pace, technique, touch, everything.
No.
Nah. It's like the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga, you can see now, Bayern yesterday, they were tested and then they had to go another gear. Do you know what I mean? Gears to get to the next gears. You know what I mean? So same with Dortmund, you know what I mean? Getting tested, but they're going up levels. So it's match fitness, 90 minutes of football fitness no other thing can buy. You could train, you could run, do all the sprints you want. Playing in competitive matches. Neil!
Yo, listen. It's all over today.
I don't watch out saying Ashton's about, mate. Ashton,
trust me, mate.
Ashton Army, mate. Neil Ashton Army is always on you, mate. But so for me, I'm hoping that that's the biggest thing I'm hoping for. Till the end of the season, no injuries to major players in the team. And we all know what the major players are.
Well, of course. And the major players are in the midfield. And that's my next question where Nuruddin pointed out. I mean, he's got a strong 11 now. The midfield now, Aaron, this is the key. Ole's got a test now to find the right midfield blend. He's got what does he do with Pogba? You know what I mean? It was going so well. Ricky's saying that Matic needs to be in the team. You know what I mean? He needs to be in the team in that midfield free. Like, how's Ole going to play? You know what I mean? He's got McTominay there. He's got Pereira there, which, for me, you probably look at it and say, nah, Pereira, no chances in the team. But he started him at the start of the season. Pereira on the right-hand side.
Just like I said now, Ole's going to have a positive headache. He won't have a headache of, oh, my God, which player am I going to choose because I ain't got none. Now he's got a headache of, oh, my God, which players am I going to choose because I've got too many. Do you see what I'm saying? So now, well, technically speaking, in midfield, not up front, but in midfield, he's got options. That's what I'm trying to say. He's got Lingard, he's got Pereira, he's got Pogba, he's got Fred, he's got Bruno, he's got Matic, McTominay. That's 7 midfielders that you can choose to put in a 3-man midfield. So you've got options there. Do you know what I mean? You can try out different things. So now he's got the options, and it's up to him to show us that he's tactically really up there with the best, because it's good to beat the cities and the rivals, and it's good to beat them once and twice and 3 times. Now, can we do it consistently? And can we finally go to those small teams and beat them even away? Not just at home, but even beat them. That's our problem. We beat the big teams, but then when it comes to the small teams, do you know what I mean? We lack that little extra. Now it's up to him to show us that he can do that. Do you know what I mean?
What does he do with Pogba, Nuruddin? You know what I mean? Because he's got him in there now. You know what I mean? He's looking to play to the end of the season. He's not. You know what I mean? He'll probably be fully fit now. Look, he's raring to go. He's even training in Ramadan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's there. He's preparing well. You know what I mean? So he's trying to do all he can to come back into the side. So what does he do there? Does he go with a balanced midfield of, you know what I mean, Matic, Pogba, and Bruno, or does he go with, you know what I mean, McTominay in there, one hard working? I don't want Pogba. He's just going to give the ball away and whatnot, and he doesn't probably not care about football. How's he gonna sort this midfield out? Because it's gonna be a problem, man. Because you know what I mean, we want the right blend. We don't just want the best 3. We want the right blend.
Yeah. To me, this is it. And then So then you pick it for the right games. So the job would be to pick the right blend for the right game, for the right opponent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you want to do in that, against that opponent? To me, I think personally, the best three midfielders moving the ball quickly in midfield is Bruno, Pogba, and Fred. They're the best three. Me personally, that's my belief. Not everybody can have different variations of it. People think that Matic, but I'm like, if we're playing against the small teams and we're on the ball more, we're looking to dominate and we're looking to have the dynamic of three in midfield that can move the ball about quickly and shift it and actually be a threat in front of goal, then those three play. Do we think when it comes to against Tottenham, I look at Tottenham's midfield, who's in their midfield? Who's fit? Now, everybody's fit, so their midfield could be...
everybody's back fit,
could be. Then that means then we might have to put a Matic in there. We might have to rest Fred because Fred might did not get... No, I'm saying we might have to put Fred...
Fred was one of our best players.
I know that, Saeed, but I'm talking about in terms of defensive, like one thing about Matic, he might not be able to move the ball, but if you got two people moving the ball quickly, Pogba and Bruno, you don't want to need another person to move the ball, but you need that defensive security in front of the back four. Do you know what I mean?
So what formation would you play then? What formation would you play?
Now 4-3-3 for me. That's the best for me.
It has to.
4-3-3 is for me. But to me, it's not even about 4-3, but having three in midfield, especially on away games, but having Pogba and Bruno be the two number 8s, alternating. You know what I mean? Like, not both of them going gun-ho, going forward.
Do you think Ole will do that, though? Do you think Ole will play them together?
I don't know, but that's what I would like to see. I'm hoping that he could. Or does he think, okay, then, Pogba becomes maybe one of the three forwards. So he might have Pogba on the right, or Bruno on the right, and Martial and then Rashford in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would be because Pogba played that. Pogba played on the left, like, of a three for Juventus, but he was more attack forwarded. He wasn't defensively minded. Do you know what I mean? So it depends. It depends. But to me, there's parts in the game as well. You've seen it. You've seen your midfield being overrun. Do you then put McTominay in to think McTominay can battle? You know what I mean? It depends. If we're leading 1 or 2 goals up, or we're winning 2-1, can you close out the game by making more of a defensive midfield substitution? Do you know what I mean? It's about that. It's not just about the first team, the 11 that you sent out there. It's during the game. Can you see things that other teams are exploiting you, or where you can exploit other teams if you get the midfield? But I don't want to see, in terms of their forms, unless their forms have improved drastically, Pereira or Lingard. That's what I'm saying to you. Yeah, unless they're doing absolute magic, like I don't. But one thing I would say now is that Ole's got the ability to pick games for certain players. So you'll know that game we might need Pogba, but Pogba is not needed in this game. Do you know what I mean? Even though we think he's needed, then you might think, Dan James is not needed in this game. He's maybe needed more in the away game. But Old Trafford, Old Trafford, depends who's starting with them. I expect to see Pogba and Bruno play together, 100%.
Is that what you're thinking, Aaron? You know what I mean? You've been talking about Pogba, Bruno, the sauce in that midfield to play together. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man.
Absolutely madness, bro.
Definitely, I agree with Nordin. Now we'll be able to play players in certain games. If you know it's going to be a physical game, you know that you won't have to play a Fred. You can play a Matic because he's tall, he's strong. When you know that you're playing against small technical players that move the ball quicker, you know that you can play a Fred because his agility is better. He's got his gravity towards the floor is better. He will move quicker. He will react quicker to things. If you know that you're playing against a team where the defenders are very, very strong and very robust, you can play Igalo. When you know that you're playing against a team where, you know, the defenders are more to your size, you can play a Daniel James. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no point playing a Daniel James against a 6'3" left back. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it makes no sense. He will just outmuscle him. So now Ole literally he can choose a team according to his opponent. Do you see what I'm saying? If you know that you got, I don't know, very quick forward, it makes no sense playing Lindelof and Maguire. You play Maguire and Bailly, because then you've got one who can bring out the ball, drive from the back, and then you've got a defender, or Tuanzebe, you've got a defender that's athletic and that's quick in recovery, because both Bailly and Tuanzebe, people don't realize it, but they're actually very quick for central defenders. So Now Oli can literally choose his starting 11 according to his opponent.
Yeah, and that's a lot of man management skills, Nuruddin. Has Oli got that, man? I don't know, man. I'm just thinking.
I think to a certain extent he has. And the other day when obviously he gave an interview to the fan scene, I'm sure you've seen it all over Twitter and all over United News. You've seen that that he said, you know what, I'd rather have a hole than an a-hole. I mean, so you know what I mean. So basically that's a firing warning shots to people, isn't it? Like, don't be no joke now. That's about the team. It's about team unity. It's about the team. It's about winning together, losing together, struggling together, surviving this together. But I definitely think that. So I'll take the a-hole because Roy Keane wasn't, but he was a winner. So if it depends on the type of a-hole. If the a-hole is a winner and he's giving everything on the pitch, then I'll take it. I'm not asked if I need to be friends with you off the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, Roy Keane didn't befriend everybody. You know what I mean? We all watched the Michael Jordan documentary. Most of us who watched it. Yeah. It wasn't everybody, but
winner.
He wanted to win. Yeah, he wanted to win. But there's a way you can win and also be a decent human being as well. Do you know what I mean? I refuse to believe that, like, that Jordan was a demonstrative. Like Roy Keane was always. I'm sure Roy Keane helped players, helped people. But to me, they should have asked when they asked him that question, they wanted to know, what does that mean? Like, what does the a-hole? Because some a-holes are just driven winners. Do you know what I mean? Because they're a-holes because they're so driven winners. And he's had characters, you know what I mean? The likes of Cantona and that. They weren't easy people to manage. So I'm guessing he's got experience. Like, he's got experience because we've seen how Fergie man managed. That's one of the best things about Fergie. Fergie's man management was amazing. But as soon as he couldn't manage you, Fergie got rid of you. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. But yeah, I think I agree with her, and it's about the players and it's about. But I don't trust our medical department, boys. I'm sorry to say, I don't trust our medical department. I don't trust, but I trust in Oli in that sense that he needs to try to get the best out of these players. And I 100% understand that Greenwood will not be firing the way he is if he went the way that Oli's managed him. Even sometimes it's been our frustration, but then it makes sense. These 2 months have given me an aspect time to look away from, to basically not be so emotionally tied and to see the bigger picture. Because I always try to see the bigger picture anyway. And like the
Too
way
big sometimes.
The way, trust me, the way he's managed Greenwood has been brilliant. You know what I mean? Because you know how, you understand how likes of Owen and that were hype when they were coming through. Robbie Fowler, the hype can get to their heads, man. And if you don't do it properly, like they should start believing in the hype. And when young players start believing in the hype, that's when they go wrong. Do you know what I mean? So keeping him on his toes, starting him, taking him off, and understanding that even we've seen it at times, like he's not physically ready yet. You know what I mean? I've seen him videos on Twitter and that. He's going to train, but to play in big man football, it is a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Same with Brandon Williams and stuff. Like, they need to physically, like the physicality of playing top level, high level Premier League football, it's not easy. So we might think, get the youngsters in, get them all in, but the physicality aspect of playing big time football is a lot, boys. It is a lot. Yeah. So the way he's managed that, the way he's built team cohesion, the way that already, like, somebody like Bruno Fernandes can come in and go, I'm a winner. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn about you guys. I want to win. You know what I mean? And be able to give somebody like that and that trust to somebody is quite good. So I'm hoping he continues. But like I said, Oli is on a lot of pressure. He is on a lot of pressure because he's got people who genuinely hate him. And then there's other people who think he's not the right guy for Man United. And there's two difference. There are two different. The people that can critique him and people think, what has he ever done? And like the ideas of him is bordering on hatred. Do you know what I mean? It's not critique. It's just hatred. Like, and I try, to me, the only player that where that line was crossed a bit, and I always hold my hands up, was Ashley Young. Like, because I just couldn't believe that. I just can't believe how he was Man United playing right back, left back for Man United. Because I was like, are you kidding me? And then I was a bit blinded by Shaw, and then I saw it. Like Shaw was just being scared. Like, I'm like, why are you scared, man? And then it takes a Brandon Williams to show up what I already thought about, like Ashley Young. Do you know what I mean? Like, Ashley Young was just, like I said, and that's where I was thinking, damn. Like, I know, like, Lukaku was a finisher, but I just didn't think he ever fitted Man United way system or was a Man United player. I never thought that. Genuinely, never thought that.
He was a typical
you know
Mourinho player, isn't it? He was
Yeah,
a typical Mourinho player, strong, tall, robust. He didn't really care about the pace or the touch. He just wanted a finisher up front.
You know what I mean? And Aaron already talks about the pressures that Ole's facing, you know what I mean? And this is a big test. That's why I call it. This is the big test now for Ole. The pressure now is gonna come even more scrutiny. I mean, lots of pressure. You know what I mean? The Adidas deal that we had now. If we don't make it to the Champions League, the deal will be halved. You know what I mean? I don't know if Woodward could be able to say, you know what, I'll give Ole one more season. I don't know, you know. Money talks a lot in football, you know, and to lose the Adidas deal, to not making the Champions League, and for United not to make the Champions League, Pogba would then have to leave, surely. You know what I mean?
Listen, yeah, you're right, man. If we lose this, I mean, the thing's going to be halved. The Adidas deal's going to be halved, you say, but imagine we lose the Adidas deal, bro. We might have to start thinking about wearing United New Balance shirts and that. You get me? So, or we might go back to Umbro, bro.
Umbro, Pandora.
Classic, mate. I love Umbro, mate.
We might have to go back to Umbro shirts. But, yeah, listen, I think you're right, man. You're right. The pressure's definitely on Ole when it comes to that, because if we don't perform on the pitch, then, you know, the deals outside of the pitch might get affected. You know what I mean? Like I just said, if we don't make the Champions League, this will be what, the second or third year in a row? Second year in a row we don't make the Champions League since Mourinho left. That's going to have a massive... I mean, the Chevrolet deal's already gone. We're not having Chevrolet on our shirts next season as main sponsor. I think we're having another sponsor called Haier or something. Haier. Haier something. I don't know what they are, but that's apparently our new sponsor.
Haier, that's why.
More like lower. We're going lower and lower.
This is apparently our next sponsor for next season, and yeah, man. So it all depends what we do on the pitch, bro. It all depends what we do on the pitch, and obviously that Champions League qualification is massive. Because, like I said, we miss out on Champions League next season. We might be played in Puma.
But
to be fair, Puma right now, they got very big deals now. Very big deals.
Like Nuruddin said, like Aaron said, sorry, Adidas deal, you know what I mean, Nuruddin, you know what I mean, if we don't get top 4,
Umbro.
I say goodbye, Ole, mate. Goodbye.
Bring back the classic Umbro, mate. I was always a fan of Umbro, innit? I like that. Nostalgic, I'm a nostalgic kind of guy, mate. Umbro.
Is it basically a case of, you know how you have the NBA playoffs, and you just like, you have to win it, you know what I mean? Michael Jordan had to win it. With us, we have to make top 4. I cannot see Man United out of the top 4 again next season. I just don't want that to happen, Nuruddin.
Well, it depends. It's not the top 4. It's about Champions League. We could win the Europa League and get to Champions League.
That's if it gets voided, though. That's
if it doesn't get voided, yeah. So definitely a lot of pressure of Ole Lau on the team. And to me, this is what I always said. When the tough gets going, can the tough get going? You know what I mean? Can the team come together now and think, you know what, this is the 9 games left, is it? Possible how many points that we could get? You know what I mean? There must win points. Yeah. Must win games. And every game's going to be a must win. This, at the end of this, it's not even about how you play in the games. It's about the 3 points.
Especially without the fans.
Yeah. Without the fans. You're doing everything to get the 3 points. I think at home, Man United might play better. Because sometimes I think the pressure of the fans, the players get nervous. We've all seen it. We've been there.
It's really the opposite like before. I think it's been very, very optimistic Old Trafford lately. You know what I mean? In terms of the fans, you know what I mean? The feeling of the derby. Remember the derby feeling?
But each game is unique though, Saeed. Each game is unique. It depends how nervous the players start. If the nervousness from the crowd then transfers to the players, and then the next minute, it's like, well, what the hell? We're all having heart attacks, man. We're all in there having a heart attack. So let's see how they play. Of course, shooting towards the Stretford end, the crowd is always up for it in that 90 minutes. Regardless if Man United are 3-0 down, the Old Trafford, like the Stretford end, and that East, you know what I mean? That the East end, the people are pushing, like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The atmosphere has been really good, in certain games, but throughout these 7 doldrum, like this disturbing years, it's been a lot of nerves felt by players. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see, but yeah, a lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure. Lots of pressure on Man United.
If I was,
but to me, it gives me hope that we've got a chance with Ighalo and Bruno. And I say it again, and I've said it before. If it wasn't for Rashford injured, if it wasn't for Pogba to be injured and McTominay injury, we would not have Bruno. We would not have Ighalo. I'm sorry to say that to everybody, but that is the truth.
You know what I mean? That's reality in terms of, you know what I mean, how it happens in football season. But just to wrap up the podcast, I want to ask you one question each, and it'll be the same question. What will be Ole's biggest test, Aaron?
Ole's biggest test will be
from when the season starts.
From when the season restarts.
Yeah.
The biggest test is going to be what can you do with the players that you've got now, because you've been not complaining, but you've been talking a lot about injuries and not having a lot of players at your disposal. Excuse me. Now, everyone is at your disposal. Nobody's injured. Everyone is back in training. What can you do with this team? I think that's going to be the biggest challenge. And not just what can you do with this team, but can you bring this team? Can you really bring them higher? Or are you just going to expose yourself as just another average manager? That's going to be the biggest test for him.
Loaded.
Keeping the players, his top players fit. Can he get into the medical development? Getting the top players, keeping the top players fit, because I'm a believer. If the top players are on that pitch, they're going to perform. If I think the way Ole wants to play, if I'm a believer, and that first 3 months when he took over the club gave me a sign that he does know what he wants about Man United players, but can he keep them fit?
And that's a big question. You know what I mean? It's not a given though, is it? You know what I mean? We've had our fair share of injuries, but you know what I mean? Players are going to come back from niggles. It's not going to be, the muscles are not going to be still working. You know what I mean? No. But the only hope I have with me is that they've had a longer break in terms of football training than the Bundesliga. Bundesliga had about 2 weeks. We'll have about a month. Because apparently the Premier League could start in June the 20th. That's the rumours going around. June the 20th, the season will start again. But
they're not even training individually. The phase 3 of training is going to be when playing 11 aside, like playing doing 7 against 11 or 10 against 10. Do you know what I mean? That's where it's going to be. So
and then you have your transitions of how you play.
All of that, and then you're going to get knocks in training. Like, don't be surprised. But to me, the biggest thing, if any of the United medical team and fitness team can see this, get them fitter. Please get them fitter. Let's have that tightened up. Let's have the injury. The players do a lot of injury prevention work. Please let them do lots of injury prevention work. And I am hoping that that's been done. I am literally hoping these 2 months, Ole's looked at everything. Ole's not just sat home with his kids and watching Netflix. Ole's looked at everything and thought, right, why has this gone wrong? Why was this good? Why has this gone wrong? I looked at every department as the manager of Man United and gone, right, injury prevention, guys, I need more work done on these players. You've got the data. You can see that the types of injuries these players are getting. Can we keep these players fit? Because if these players are not fit, I'm not going to be in a job. That means you're not going to be in a job. I'm really hope that he's had tough words with his medical team, tough words with the physios, with the injury and rehabilitation part of Man United. I'm hoping that he's dissected everything and thought this, because that's what this time gives you. You know what I mean? Has he just carried on and watched Netflix and just, you know what I mean, chilled?
Watching Sunderland Till I Die. You know what I mean? It's a good series, by the way, and that just shows you a reality. You know what? I've got to give it to you. It's a recommendation to watch on Netflix.
I finished it already. As soon as it came out, the second season, I finished it.
Oh, my days. I've been binging it. I'm on season 2 now, and it makes my heart, man. That Sunderland, working class city, proper football in town. You know what I mean? Absolutely distraught, just dismantled by the decisions made by Ellis Shaw and the top structure, as you call it. You know what I mean? They didn't care. It came down to the players, and then after that, results happen again. And hopefully that doesn't happen to Man United. But you know what?
It's happened already. That's happened to Man United in the past 7 years.
Well, there you go.
If you made a documentary in the last 7 years about Man United, that's exactly the same.
Yeah. Oh, it's a damning reality, and that's where we are at the minute. I just hope we can find some solace, and hopefully we can rescue the season, because I don't want to be doing no Champions League football next season. I don't know about you guys, but let's get the social, guys. Been a brilliant podcast. Podcast 69, guys. Brilliant Straightjacket podcast. Ole faces a big test. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys coming on. Aaron, plug your socials, bro.
Yeah, man, Mr. Aaron UTD, everywhere you can find me across all your social media platforms and, of course, on YouTube. On Wednesday, I've got a very, very special Instagram live with a former former X is the same word, with a former USA international called Jimmy Conrad. Played for teams mainly in America, Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City. I forgot the other names of the teams, but yeah, he played in America a lot. Played in the MLS All-Star teams. Played in the World Cup 2006. He was a central defender, so he played against some of the best players that we know from our generation: Riquelme, Messi, Drogba. Played against Closer. Played against Brazilian Ronaldo. So I'll have the honor to interview him on my Instagram on Wednesday, 8 p.m. So make sure you tune in as well.
Yeah, man. Make sure you tune in, guys, and obviously make sure you subscribe to this channel, Mr. United. The link will be in the description below. Nuruddin, how's it in socials for you?
That guy, Red Devil. I've not been tweeting, like I said, as much because I've just been because I like to react and I like to forecast things that can be happening in the game as much. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get on it. I'll get back on it because I've been having a lot of noise, like Skyping, Zooming a lot with friends and stuff like that, just doing stuff. So yeah. So that's back to But
and the rest of the Eid. Hopefully, have the rest of the Eid.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd just like to say, people, please stay safe, be vigilant. You know what I mean? Stay alert.
Stay alert. That's the key, guys.
Yeah.
Stay alert. And
control the virus. Control the virus. Like you can. What does that mean? Control the virus. Save lives.
One rule for you. One rule for the others.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing to take away. One rule for you, and a rule for the population.
There you go, guys. It's been a pleasure, guys. Mr. United and Nuruddin. It's been a pleasure. Podcast 69. OLE faces a big test. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. What do you think OLE's biggest test will be? Will it be a success, enter restart, or will it be restart, crash down, mate? You know what I mean? Restart when the computer just goes off, like, you know what I mean? The virus hits the computer. Could it be one of them where did OLE want the season to restart? I don't know. For me, I'm still unsure about that. But guys, please smash a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Right down on the bottom right-hand corner, please subscribe. Road to 15K, guys. Obviously, comment down below as you see. Podcast will be available on all social platforms, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and whatnot. And also, make sure you go follow these guys on Twitter and social media accounts. But guys, happy Eid Mubarak, and we'll see you all soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.
Hey.